I'm ready to.
Ready, Freddie.
Come on, do that summer fun thing. Silverwood, come join the fun. Thrills and spills that'll make you scream. Silverwood, come join the fun. Silverwood, come join the fun.
Well, hey there. Welcome to this week's episode of the Silverwood Show Podcast. What are you giggling about?
I'm just reading the notes for what's upcoming. What is going on with your mic? Oh my goodness. You fixed it.
Is it not fixed?
Okay, well, we can run with that. It just never looked like that.
What's it look like? I
Just
know.
off to the side? Okay,
I
go
have
ahead.
No idea. I have no idea. Once again, I'm fighting with my microphone. I'm your host, Sarah Jean. This is my co-host, Jordan, and we are here to talk trains today.
Yes.
Once we get past my flubs.
It's all about the train.
It's
the
all
train,
about,
not trains.
Yeah,
the train.
Yes, the historic, iconic engine number 7.
Not engine number 9.
No,
because I made a mistake last
and that was
time.
hilarious. I don't know that I've ever caught you in a.
No, that was weird.
I don't know where your brain went there. So maybe
was
when you do your
somewhere
draft
else.
later, if there's anybody that's number 9, maybe that's like the
Okay,
number. It was
maybe.
like
There
your
we
brain
go.
telling you that's
Okay.
that's where it's at. But yeah, we've got Quincy. He is our train lead, our maintenance lead for the train, and he's going to come in and tell us all the things that
All the
you didn't
things.
know, that I didn't know, that even Jordan didn't know,
true.
which is rare. Jordan knows everything.
No. No.
Sometimes. Just not what number our train
not
is.
sometimes. I don't. Just forget the number of the train.
Yeah. I didn't write Park Pulse on here for some reason. Should we go to the Park Pulse?
Park Pulse.
Park Pulse.
We should.
Okay. So what's pulsing?
Well, we need to make a correction
Yeah.
from the previous podcast.
Yes. Disregard.
Disregard
Yeah.
Scarywood's opening date.
Yes.
Because Scarywood's opening date now is October 3rd.
I mean, y'all wanted another weekend.
Yeah, so we're open the
Yeah.
3rd, 4th, and 5th as
Yes.
opening weekend. That is also the weekend that season pass holders can save $10 on their tickets by
Yes.
purchasing them at the gate.
Yes.
And that is the only time you can purchase at the gate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Which was a question that I've seen on social media a couple times. So there's that answer.
Yep.
It's also going to be my media night for my media, correct? On the 3rd.
The 3rd?
Mhm.
Friday the 3rd.
Friday the 3rd. And now Silverwood last day,
Last day is the 28th.
28th.
28th,
So,
yes.
yes. So we apologize for all of that.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes things happen last
Things
minute around
change.
here. We are a theme park.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's a circus.
We made it. We made a change. So
We made a change.
funny enough, that's how we originally had it. So
Yeah.
it didn't like in our minds.
Yeah.
It was like a week and a half of change, and now we're back.
Yeah. It's easier this way.
Yeah,
It really is.
And
so
now we have 14 nights of Scarywood and not 11. So
we couldn't
all of
keep
us, yeah,
the
we're
bigger,
happy.
badder, scarier monsters
badder, yeah.
hidden away.
Well,
for
and
that
I
long.
guess that is a point because we haven't mentioned the updated haunt because last we just
Yeah.
talked about
Yeah.
the tickets
Yeah. So let's talk about Scarywood.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna have more episodes on this.
Yeah,
but
yeah, for sure. But might as well give them a little teaser
Yeah.
because tickets are on sale now.
Tickets are on sale,
Yes,
so definitely buy them
scarywoodhaunt.com.
early because they
Yes.
do sell out.
Yes.
They're limited.
And this is date specific. So
Yes.
not like the Silverwood season. Your Scarywood tickets are date specific. So
Yeah.
make sure that you know when you want to go and get those tickets. Those Saturdays probably go really fast.
Saturdays are definitely, especially as you get closer to Halloween, the more occupancy that comes to the park, the more
Yeah,
people that
yeah.
want to visit because
Yeah.
it's later in the season. People feel more like it's Halloween.
Yeah.
Last year we started at the end of September, and
Mm.
we have one less weekend this year, and so come early. I think that's always the
Yeah.
tip is come early,
Yep. And enjoy. 'Cause
come
it's gonna
early,
be fun.
stay late,
It's going to be bigger
bigger and badder.
and badder.
That's our theme this
And
year.
we've had some hints. I did see that one of our news stations, KXOI, did do a little
Yeah.
tease based off of our social media, trying to figure out what that hint was.
Yeah.
And I think people pretty much know.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
it wasn't much of a hint. It was kind of just telling it because it says the swine, which was our new haunt last year, is bigger and badder this year.
Yeah.
Which hints at
It doesn't mean that Pig Mama's getting any bigger. She's reached her maximum capacity for her house. But
Well, true,
there
but-
are bigger and badder
but her persona
things.
might be bigger.
Oh, yeah, especially after a year under her belt.
yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah.
I hope y'all are ready for Pig Mama. She's going to love that we're talking about her right now.
Yep.
Can I tell them what she does in her day job? She's a baker.
A pig baker.
She's a pig baker. She
She's a
makes
pig
the
baker.
most incredible cookies
Yes.
of any swine that I've ever tasted their cookies, which is none. But
One of one.
Yeah.
Yes.
So good. And so she's let's just say the persona is really funny to
Yeah.
see it from
It's very
one angle
different.
to the next. Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of, not really.
No,
We know what's under
yeah.
there. We all know what's under there.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, just to jump on what is included in this bigger and badder upgrade with the swine is last year the swine, and we'll touch on this in more detail as we get closer, but was a true maze where people could choose their path. That caused a ton of bottlenecks, and it caused us to. It was hard to staff because you might go one way and you might not see a lot of people, where the other way was where the people. So we're taking that concept and like making it more of a unified pathway, but there's still open areas where you can choose which way you go, but it goes to one direction.
Ultimately, you're going to end up in the same spot. And
it's a linear path. But we also have 3 new houses that we're going to be added to the swine that you'll be able to walk through and experience. And so we'll touch on what those entail in a future episode.
Yes, and I can't wait. I'm just so ready. I may have spent like an hour in bed last night looking at Halloween decorations on Amazon. Like
For your office?
No, for my house.
Oh, okay.
My office is already ready. I got the bag. I looked
ready.
today. I am just totally prepared. But yeah, it's time to start decorating. I can't wait any longer.
Okay.
So it's
start.
happening. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ah,
And then the other
October.
pulse would be we are coming up on the end of the Boulder Beach season.
Can you believe
There's
it?
only 2 more weekends. 2 more weekends at Boulder Beach. Come out. Use those tickets that you have purchased or those comp tickets that you have earned through Read to Ride.
Yeah.
Those do have blackout dates on the Saturday and Sunday of Labor Day. But come out because after the 1st of September, no more water park.
No more water
It's crazy.
park, which is
We just started.
we literally just had dry run. I
It feels
swear,
like
it's just
it.
so strange to me. And that last weekend, Coaster Classic. There's a reel up that was posted today. You can check out some details on that and what that entails. We're drawing to a close.
We're coming close.
Of summer. So, like Jordan said, make sure to use your tickets and get to the park before summer slips away.
It's going to be gone.
Yeah.
It doesn't wait for you.
No, it doesn't wait for you or us or anybody. So let's head on into the mail train.
Mail train.
All right, more great questions this week. I had a couple that I just had to touch on because they were funny. So, but let's start with Mr. Patrick Jones. Patrick had a couple questions. First off, what sort of community involvement and outreach does Silverwood do in North Idaho? And I thought that was good leading into our community appreciation weekend. So, go ahead, Jordan.
Well, there's a lot. It's hard. It's hard to.
Yeah.
It's hard to quantify all of it. Specifically for September, the last 3 weekends of Silverwood, $4 of each ticket goes to help our local food banks. And so, because of guests that come through, and we are able to donate a good check to each food bank in our local area. And so that's always fun to do. That's one of my favorite days of the year. And then we have Canopy Village, which we support with the train.
Yes.
And for those who ride the train, we're not just taking your money for tips.
Yeah.
It is going, all of it goes to Canopy Village. And then we get
Dynamite Dan is not using it for a college fund, I promise. So
No, he's not.
That's not happening.
He's not.
But he is giving it to these kids so that maybe they can do something great.
Yeah.
And so those are a couple things. And then amongst all of that, I know that obviously we've helped out with local schools, helping them to build new facilities.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that we're involved in and that we sponsor or things like that. And this community is so incredibly important to Silverwood and to our founder and his family. And we're a staple here.
Yeah,
You know? So
we definitely don't want to we don't want to live on an island. I think, and I've heard that from Gary.
Exactly.
This is not an island. We need to. We have a community that we want to help out and bring along with us.
Yeah. And I can tell you, even after so many years in radio, the sense of community I get working here is incredible. It's more so than being in an industry where technically that's what it was supposed to be. You know what I mean?
Right,
and so it's a beautiful thing around here. So make sure that you come and come during community appreciation weekends because it's for a good cause, and make sure to donate on the train for those kiddos at Canopy Village. So that's a good question. But Patrick wasn't done.
Yeah.
He also wanted to know how early people should show up at the park for Scarywood.
Early.
Early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Scarywood gates open at 7 unless it's going to be a busier night. Then we open earlier. You definitely want to be one of the first ones in the gates to get straight to whatever attraction or ride you want to get to first. So with that being said, if you were here by scan tickets by 6:30, you're doing pretty good.
Okay.
But on some of those like Saturdays, you definitely want to be closer to 6.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. So there's your answer. What time in the parking lot would you say? Be in the parking lot.
Be in the parking lot by 6.
Okay. There you go. There's your answer, Patrick, who also wanted to tell us. Can I read this on air?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So the last podcast was hilarious because the commercial that was running was for pest control and you guys had a fly infestation in the recording booth.
Yeah. They're listening to us.
So funny
They're
to
reading,
me. I had to include that because I thought that was so funny. So, Patrick, I'm glad you enjoyed our little chaos. Luckily, it's not as bad today.
No, I just have one.
Yeah, there's been one that's buzzing around that's super annoying. But aside from that, I don't know where
it's
they went.
It's not landing on your face.
Right. Jordan has had to slap me at all this episode.
Oh, man.
So thank you for that, Patrick. Thank you so much for listening as well. Ernest Wick wants to know, what's the distance from the front gate to the water park? Do you know this?
I don't know this.
We need you to go out there and do your little step thing.
Yeah, we should walk it.
Yeah, we should walk it.
I mean, it's what do you think? Like a quarter of a mile?
From the front gate to the water park.
You think it's less than a quarter mile, Amanda?
Probably
She
less
thinks
than
it's
a
less
quarter
than
mile.
that.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of a track laid out flat.
Flat. That's what I do in my head too. And I'm glad he didn't ask the parking lot because that would be a completely different story.
Yeah. I don't know.
Less than a quarter mile.
Well,
I'm going to stick with that. We'll go measure it and we'll update you, Ernest, on the next episode.
Okay,
How's that?
we'll do that.
Amanda, will you remind us to do that?
Yeah, please remember us.
We're not going to remember. Okay, Eileen Roman, she thinks she's silly. She wants to know, is it actually fun working there or do you guys get bored after a while? And I laughed so hard. Like, we work at a theme park. When is it going to get boring?
It's
boring. That just was like the one word
thing it
that
never is boring. I'll tell you that. Ever.
So I had to laugh at that. So no, Eileen, it doesn't get boring.
It is fun.
It's always,
but it's never boring.
Yeah, never boring. That definitely some days are super crazy and some are a little slower.
But never boring.
But never boring. I mean, I can't even think of a boring day. So Eileen, come work for us. Come check it out for yourself. I am ready to call a loyal listener. So if you guys don't know how to do this, if you want to be a loyal listener for your chance to win tickets, sign up at silverwoodthemepark.com/podcast. And we could be calling you like we're going to be calling this week's winner. So give it a spin.
We have a winner.
All right. This week we are calling winner number 2626. Let's get him on the phone.
Hello?
Hey, Rob. This is Sarah Jean and Jordan calling from the Silverwood Show Podcast here at Silverwood Theme Park. How are you?
Doing good.
Good. Hey,
great.
guess what? You are this week's loyal listener, and so we've got a pair of tickets for you to come to Silverwood this season.
Oh, that's so cool.
Or next season. We could extend them to next season.
Now that
It's
we're at
coming
this
later.
part,
Yeah.
it's getting difficult. But that's not all, Rob. Are you ready for a little bonus offer?
Of course.
All right. If you're willing to play a short little game with us, you could win upwards to $75 in Silverwood cash. You down?
All right.
Okay.
All right. We're going to play true or false with you. So it's super simple. You have a 50% chance of getting it correct. I'll give you a statement. Let me know if you think it's true or false. If you get it right, you get $5. If not, we'll just move on to the next one. And then at the end, Jordan has a little soundbite he's going to play for you of a ride for your chance to win $50.
All right.
Sound good? Okay, let's get things started. True or false? The sections in Boulder Beach are named after different flowers.
That would be false.
Yes.
Correct.
Nice
He was
job.
confident. That was confident right there.
I like that. All right. So Idaho Gems, obviously. Okay. True or false? Silverwood is open, rain or shine.
That would be true.
And he's got $10
$10
in the bank. Nice job, Rob. Oh, nice job, Rob. Hey, that rhymes. Okay. On to number 3.
Never heard that before.
No, he hasn't. Corkscrew is originally from Florida.
That's false.
Rob, you are on it.
Sorry,
Jordan
my
can't even
button
get the
wouldn't
button
work.
because
Yeah,
he's
that's
been
okay.
hitting the good button so many times it's not even working anymore. Okay, so $15 in the bank. On to the next one. Panic plunge drops you 120 feet.
Ooh.
We stumped him.
Oh, maybe.
True.
Yes.
Wow. That was a guess. Good job.
Rob, you're on fire. You're on fire. $20 in the bank. One more true or false before we head into the soundbite. Silverwood used to be an aerodrome.
True.
Rob.
There you go. 5 for 5.
Way to
Maybe you should
sweep
come host
the
this
true
thing
or
for us.
false. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, $25 in the bank. Go ahead, Jordan.
Okay, so this next is a new soundbite. We haven't used it yet because the last episode someone actually guessed correctly. So this is a new one. It's a ride either in Silverwood or Boulder Beach. It's just a little clip. I'm going to play it for you right now. So here it comes. Maybe. What ride do you think that is?
Ooh. Sounded like water. Is that Eagle Hunt?
That is not Eagle Hunt. That is a good guess.
I don't even know what it is, Rob.
Yeah.
So, but you still got $25 in Silverwood cash. You got a pair of tickets, and I'll give you a call or a text after the podcast is over, and we'll discuss whether you want them for this season or next and how to pick them up.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks
You're
so much
welcome.
for
Thank
playing
you.
along and for knowing so much about Silverwood. That
Yeah,
always
great
makes
job.
things great. Yeah. So have a great day, Rob.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Rob's a pro.
Rob's a pro.
Rob's a pro.
Rob's a pro. They also might have been a little easy.
Well, yeah. I know. I'm running out of true
Silverwood
or
is open.
false.
Rain or shine. Well, I guess that's a question we do get a lot.
Oh
so
my gosh, I get it
true.
all the time.
That's
so,
true.
and that's kind of how I get these. Sometimes is what I've been seeing the most
Yeah.
in terms of that week,
Yeah.
and so it kind of helps me to answer some questions without having to deliberately answer them.
Makes sense.
Okay, so who's ready to talk trains?
I am.
I am too. Choo choo into the big drop.
The Big Drop.
Well, welcome back. We are here with this week's special guest. We've got Quincy Saunders in the house, and you are the lead train maintenance. Is that your title? How do you
Yeah.
say your title?
Yeah, maintenance train lead.
Maintenance. Okay, I was almost there, but yeah, he
You
basically.
can read his name tag. It says train.
Oh, that's why.
maintenance
Is that why we
lead.
wear these so that we can figure
Yeah,
that
we can
out?
figure it out.
Okay. Well, I already knew his
You just
name.
that was
so
an
I didn't
inside
look.
scoop for you.
There you go. I'm learning something. But we are here with Quincy, and Quincy is the train professional.
Yes.
He's what keeps that train moving every single day throughout the winter, all season long. To make sure
All the
that,
stuff train.
Yeah, literally all things train. And we know that we've got a lot of guests a lot of listeners, soon to be guests maybe, that are completely obsessed with the train. I mean, how could you not be? And this is
What
going to
started
be
it all.
Yeah, this is going to be a really fascinating episode for you guys to kind of learn a little bit about that train and how Silverwood kind of got its start, right? But first, let's get to know Quincy a little bit. So, Quincy, tell us about yourself, how long you've worked here, any other positions that you've done, and if you like, a certain ride the best or a certain food the best. A little bit about you.
Okay, yeah, I started here in 2020. I came off of the oil field slope, actually, up in North Alaska.
Wow.
Okay.
And they basically told me up there, hey, you're going to go ahead and leave your family for 6 months and work up here. And I said, nah,
Yeah.
no. So I had a friend that worked here, and he said interview. So I came and interviewed and started working with the train. And I've only worked with the train.
Yeah.
I'll do special oddball jobs for maintenance, but for the most part, strictly the train is what I've
Yeah.
been doing now for the past 5 years.
And the train is your baby.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
you didn't have any. How much experience with trains have you had before?
Well, specifically trains, nothing. But as far as pressure goes, everything in the oil field was pressure related.
Gotcha.
So directing pressure to go to certain places. So a lot of what I did there translated over. But as far as what I knew about steam engines, my guess is there's less than 300 people in the United States that work on steam engines at the rate that me and the crew do.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't a lot. A lot of what I had to learn was hit the ground running. I had to learn it from YouTube videos. There's a bunch of old books in the train barn.
Yeah.
One of them was written in 1939.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I've got these old books that I have to be really delicate about where I've learned a lot of the information from.
That's
We need to
so
digitize
crazy.
those.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we talked
Either
about
that
it.
or you need to just literally live forever or
Yeah,
we're in trouble.
yeah.
So
Yeah, it makes sense, but the English is just almost 100 years old, so it's
a little different.
It's a little different.
Yeah, definitely a little different.
It's cool. It's surreal sometimes.
I mean, what a fun job for sure.
Yeah.
So when you're not on the train, what do you do here at Silverwood, like for fun? Is there a particular ride that you love, or?
Yeah, I'd say that Stunt Pilot, when it came out, I was most excited about that, and I still like it, and I don't have to work on it, so I think I get just an enjoyment.
That changes things a little bit, right? Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, and your favorite food at the park?
Honestly, probably the chicken at the not the country barbecue.
The Chuck Wagon?
Yeah, Chuck Wagon. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I can agree with that. Very
That's a
good.
good one.
Okay. So there's a little inside scoop on Quincy, but let's kind of get into it. What does it take on a daily basis to keep a 1915 steam engine train running?
Okay. Well, every morning, 2 or 3 of us, my crew, I couldn't do this without my crew. I've got an amazing crew. I've got 2 guys that work with me, Chad and Thomas. But every morning, we get in, check to make sure there's nothing written on the board that the engineers have discovered.
Yeah.
Then we go through our daily list of making sure that it's filled with water. We make sure that it's got all the right chemicals in it. We make sure that it's got all the oil is filled back up. And we have to grease it every single day. And then we have to go through the inspection part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a checklist that I go through, and I go through and meticulously check each thing to make sure that nothing's gone wrong with it. And then after that, we pull it out and get it oiled. And we have to do the same thing for the train cars and the track too.
Okay.
So, and then we have to pull it out after we oil the axles to make sure it's good to go. Every single day that happens, and it's just a gravity feed that just kind of drops onto it all day. The engineers also have to do it once a day too, in the middle of the day.
Okay.
We pull out to the oil shed, and we end up getting the fuel, which is reclaimed motor oil.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the train runs on now, is reclaimed motor oil.
Okay.
That's the most common question we get up there in the front of the train is this real? It runs off of diesel now, right?
Yeah.
But it's all real. It's all the exact same stuff, except rather than coal, now it's reclaimed motor oil.
Interesting.
And then we get that filled up, and we go and we latch up to the train cars, and that gets another inspection to make sure all the brakes are actuating correctly. And then we pull it to the depot.
This is like an airport. Like you see them doing the checklist on the airplane before you take off. I mean, this is a lot more than I think
it's like a train
realized.
depot.
Yeah. Okay, shut up, Jordan. You know what I mean,
trains
though.
don't fly.
I know, but it's like the checklist that the pilots have to do before they take off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that stuff.
It's intensive. What? Okay, you
It's
said
a dirty job.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely a dirty
You're
job.
pretty clean right now.
Yeah,
You
I
are
try to stay clean because of this today. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's the cleanest I've ever seen. You and
Truly.
Thomas are always covered in train whatever.
Sludge.
Yeah.
Train goo.
Train
Train
sludge. Yeah, for sure. Okay, you mentioned water. How much water does the train hold?
The tender holds 2,000 gallons,
Okay.
and the boiler holds roughly 500.
Oh, wow.
And then we have to fill that up several times a day, the tender several times a day, and fill up the boiler several times a run in order to
wow.
make sure we have enough water in there.
So it runs out.
Well, so that's what happens like out at the Silver Mine for the show. You guys have to, is that a part?
Yeah, so when we get to the robbery, we are down low on water. We're towards the bottom of our sight glass, and we have to get all of our water back up to the certain mark. We have a mark that marks this, have this much water when we leave the station, have this much water when we leave the robbery. Because if you have too much, the train won't run right, and if you have too little, the train will stop being a train if you run out of water.
Yeah. Okay.
When we get there, we need to know roughly how much time we're going to be there. And we've just learned the show, so we know, okay, get this much water by this part of the show, get this much water by this part of the show, get this much water and this much pressure, because we have to have a certain amount of pressure leaving the station.
Okay.
We want to have a certain amount of pressure leaving the train, the Silver Mine.
I never knew that the Silver Mine was really a maintenance
It's
stop.
important.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But we do run some of the shows that don't stop there. So how does that change things?
Yeah, so if we know what we're running, we can change that. And so we'll draw water after the trestle, or across the trestle, and then we won't draw water again until we get to the Silver Mine. However, if the show is shorter, we have to draw water 2 times before the robbery, and then we have to draw it again right before or right after Gary's Corner, depending on how much pressure you have.
Yeah.
And so it changes the script. That way, if it's like really rainy and they tell us, oh, we're not going to do the show, that's why we request to know by the end of the trestle, because Otherwise, we're going to be kind of fighting the water and the pressure.
That makes sense.
We have a script that we try to stick to. And if you've ever been lucky enough to get on one of the train rides where we're going
off script
2 miles an hour up the trestle, that's because we've either slipped on a little bit of grease because we have to grease the track in order to make sure that it doesn't get worn down.
Yeah.
Or somebody unfortunately wasn't paying attention, which is more rare than having the grease.
Yeah.
And then it just goes slow, and then we're in focus mode trying to just get up that trestle.
Okay.
And so sometimes the actors have to kind of flesh out their...
Do some ad-libbing.
Yeah.
And Jordan just got off the train.
I did just get off the train.
Now, yeah. Or should I say dynamite?
Well, I just robbed the train, and it got a lot of money.
Did you?
Well,
good job, Jordan.
Canopy Village got a lot of money.
Yes. But good job for Canopy Village.
Yes.
And so, So Jordan's literally fresh off the train.
Fresh off the train. I looked disheveled. My hair's all messed up.
I thought you were going to come in dressed as Dynamite Dan.
No, it's too hot to do that.
Super disappointed in you right now.
Sorry.
Okay, so we kind of talked about that. What would you say is like the biggest challenge in maintaining the train?
It's 110 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't get any part of that at AutoZone or at Napa.
Right.
So luckily, we've got an amazing support crew here. You know, we've got fabricators here that can help us make things. We've got the machinist here that can machine some of the parts in house, and everything else we have to get through vendors that'll come, third party machinists. Like so, Northwest Machine. Shout out to them. Most of our parts that need to be fabricated, we show them 110-year-old piece that's cracked or broken, and we're like, can you do something with this? And they go, but it can't be this way anymore. Things have changed. So slowly as the years go on, things have been replaced that need to be. Like, for instance, the caps on the end of the cylinders, just throughout being 110 years old, they developed a hairline fracture, and it was cast steel, so you can't weld on that.
Yeah.
So train's got to keep running, but we can't run with that anymore. So we had to give them this piece, and they say, well, we have to do these corners different, and it has to be made out of this material. So it went from 2 years ago, that piece being about 95 pounds to get it on and off of there, to being like 135 pounds getting it on and off. So
geez. So y'all are doing a workout too. Okay. So we're working out. We're fixing the train. What happens in the winter?
So that's when we take it all apart. Like if we find out anything that's wearing out during the season, I can't work on this thing. I can't do everything with this train when it's hot. Like right now there's water in the boiler, and when I come in, it's still hot. Yeah. If I had to replace a valve, it's a huge deal where I have to come in at like 2 a.m. in order to bleed it down to a certain amount of pressure. So if anything's wearing out and not broken, we're going to wait till we go to weekends to where it can cool down to replace all these things. So we set up a list of all these things that need to be replaced when it can be cooled down. And then we take apart a lot of the train. We end up measuring like the inside of the cylinders to make sure how much wear we've got going on, measure the wheels, find out what's going on with them, measure all the spindles on the wheels to make sure that those aren't getting worn down. Any parts that need to be rebuilt, we redo that. And then the train cars they need the most attention. Okay. We're constantly repairing them, you know. Those aren't 110 years old, but they're wood.
Yeah.
And so they've all the wooden floors and stuff is all winter we're repairing all those. And we have 5 train cars and roughly 5 months. So we try to do 1 train car a month if it works out that way.
Yeah. So, if you can.
And then of course after Silverwood closes, we go into track work season really hard.
Okay, yeah. So you're working on the actual railroad tracks as well.
Yeah, we do
so what does that entail?
So if we don't have an excavator, it is literally pick out the gravel around it, grab it with tongs through great effort, pull it out, clear out the base. We've actually started doing something new these past few years. We were actually wiping away the old original base and putting in new ballast underneath that. That way we have better drainage.
Okay.
And so we're sliding that back in. We have to gauge it, make sure everything's good. We're trying to make sure the track is level and straight, and then we will spike it down and then go on to the next spot.
Yeah.
And it's a never-ending... If I were to get done with every single tie here, it would take us long enough to, by the time I'm done with that, you start over at the other ones that need it more.
Yeah. Okay. So literally that is a constant.
And how many are you doing a year?
I think our best year when we had a lot of people on it, I think we did like 300 ties, but I had a big crew helping me at that point. I'd say on average, we probably get about 100 maybe. But it slowed down also when we started redoing the road base.
Sure.
So,
and how So 300 ties. It sounds like a lot, but how spread out are those?
Some of them will be, you have one right here by the coyote that's worn out, and then you have another one over here that's 20 feet over here, and another one that's 300 feet over there. But we're also trying to do, as these sections go bad, one tie after another all the way through, and we'll get like 60 of those, and then we'll go to a next area that's got that.
And those are spaced out like
about a foot and a half. Yeah, about a foot and a half.
I would have guessed that.
Nice job, Jordan. Good job.
Just for the record.
Good job, Jordan knew that,
Thanks.
just so you know.
The only reason why I know that is because I walked the whole tracks, and
okay.
it's like a step every time. And sometimes it's like, oh, that's a little bit less than a normal step.
And hopefully within the next 5 years, they'll all be exactly uniform. But you've got, over the course of Silverwood, so many different guys doing track work. Now we've got it kind of uniform, and it'll continue to be that way.
Yeah. That's so crazy because obviously the average person who's working on a train isn't also working on the tracks, you know? So you are literally from one end of the spectrum to the other when it comes
meal deal.
To this train. What everybody talks about the steam engine trains. Like, I mean, they're very special, right? What makes
everybody talks about them?
Well, I mean, everybody goes crazy over ours.
Okay, yeah.
You know, it's so special. It's such a centrified thing, you know. And what I don't know trains personally. I have a lot of friends who are train fanatics, but what makes a steam engine train like so special versus, say, any other train that used to run back then?
Well, they were all steam engines back then. It's a when you think about it, like how far away it was in history, it's amazing technology. Like we figured out, like for instance, if you take one measurement of water and turn it into steam, it turns into 1,700 of the same measurement. So one drop of water turns into 1,700 drops of steam.
Okay.
And so there, you get a lot of power out of that. And so it's amazing that we found out that you can get so much power just from heating water.
Yeah.
And the strength that you can do with fire and water is incredible that people came up with this 100-something years ago.
Yeah. And this train was going from one side of the country to the other.
No,
right?
no, it
wasn't it? No.
Eureka Palisade. It was working. It was working on a sideline for a silver mine.
Okay.
And so she was a workhorse originally.
So she actually was a silver mine train.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that either. That's really cool.
That Eureka Palisade, that place has got a book written about it, and one of the engineers has it.
Okay.
And it tells a little history about the train. And when they first got it, everybody was really excited about Engine 7 because it looked sleek.
Yeah.
But she famously slips. And like I said earlier, we might be slipping on the track.
Oh.
So we see in this book that she's famous for slipping when they were working. I was like, hey, wait a second. That's what it's doing right now.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then they actually retired it. They said, we're done with this.
Okay.
So they took her tender from her, and they ended up putting her outside, and they're like, you stay over there, train. And then there was a fire that claimed all their trains except for Engine 7. And so they dusted her back off. And in a weird way, we have Engine 7 today because people didn't like Engine 7 back then. And so it's a blessing that she didn't.
A redemption song, you guys.
Yeah. So
okay, I love that so much.
Also in that book, I'd have to look up the title of the book again, but in that book, there's a picture of Engine 7 on its side.
Oh, because it slipped?
No, it
because
just
it
fell
derailed?
on its side. Yeah, it came off and was on the side.
Oh, no.
And when I first started working here, there's a part underneath the train called the wishbone, and it's cocked really bad, and you had to take it off every once in a while to check stuff. And I was like, how did this happen? How is this cocked like this?
Yeah.
And we get it repaired, and we get it all fixed. Northwest Machine took forever to fix it, and they got it all repaired. And then we found that picture in that book. Like,
that's it.
Now
that's how
we
it got
know
bent.
what happened.
Wow.
Yeah. If you think about that name of the book, let me know, and
Okay.
I'll let the audience know and put it that, you know, because that's kind of neat. I didn't know there was a book about it. So, have you read it?
No.
No? Well, maybe we need to read it.
I've done some research on the train just because it is what it is,
Yeah.
you know, and like the Eureka Palisades and all that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
But it is interesting.
How far is that? So how far was it traveling?
I can't remember. It wasn't very far.
No,
it was maybe a couple miles or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't huge. If I'm wrong, it's not by much off.
Okay.
Because was it bringing miners into the mining area and back to town?
To my understanding was Engine 7 would take the ore from the inside of they'd back up the train cars into the entrance of the mine, load it up, and then that would take it back to the main line. So she just went back and forth in order to get the ore back to the main line.
Interesting. That's so crazy. I didn't know any of this. See, so I'm learning things. Which means our audience is learning things because unless they're like Jordan, they know everything.
Well,
but yeah,
I got that wrong. So
oh yeah. Okay. So, well, what else here? gosh, why do you think, in your own personal opinion, that this train is such a part of the iconic experience at Silverwood?
Well, I always call it the face of Silverwood. It's what people come, they want
Yeah.
to see. It's like what they see on the pictures when they come to visit. It's the first thing that people see other than the carousel when they come into the park. And people always come up and they want to tell us a little tidbit of information they found out about it. And then, like I said, the first question everyone asks is this real? And then, yes, it's real. And where does that steam come from? Steam comes from this fire that we have here. But yeah, it's like, I think it's kind of people are surprised to see a steam engine. I know there's lots of them, but there's not as many as anything else you see.
Yeah, and you don't see them at theme parks.
Oh, there's a few of them.
I think there is a few.
Yeah.
Ours is coolest.
Ours is the coolest. You're right.
Yeah.
We beat Disney for it, right?
That's how we got it.
In the
in the bid.
in the bidding war at Hera's auction in Reno, Nevada.
So how did she end up there?
I think it was a museum. I think she was in a museum.
If I'm remembering right, it was that after she was done working, she went to a museum, and then after the museum, she went to a casino owner, and he's the one who actually put all the brass on it.
That's Hera's, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so when he passed away, his wife just auctioned it off. So she wasn't obsessed with trains like he was.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
However-
and that's where Gary found it.
Okay. And he went
And
head to head with Disney.
So upstairs in I have a booklet of that auction, everything that's like would be for sale for that auction, and engine number 7 is circled. And it says like there's I think it said mine or ours question mark or something like that. Like Gary had
That's
circled
Gary
it.
had
That's
written?
his book.
It's the actual book. Yeah.
Okay, can we take a picture of that and post that
You probably
too?
can,
Because
yeah.
that's kinda
But it's
cool.
pretty cool
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I mean, he originally didn't really go there for that that engine.
Oh, really? That wasn't the...
No, I think he went there to get the tri-motor airplane.
Okay.
So, and then
Well,
there's
that would make more sense.
There's other
Yeah.
things that he had circled, but that was one. And
Did he
obviously-
come home with anything else?
a bunch of rail.
yeah, lots of rail. I think he got the tri-motor too. But,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Interesting.
that
Okay.
lots of rail, and then there's pictures of him and his kids and stuff working on the railroad and laying the track and all that kind of stuff.
So
I have
Gary
pictures.
actually was out there, like
Oh, yeah.
laying the track to begin
yeah.
with. That's so cool.
Yeah, they said the old engineers when I first started, they said that even though Gary hasn't driven it in a while, they said he could drive the crud out of the train all the way around. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Well, and
How-
I've seen his granddaughter do it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Alex does
used to
it.
do
Yeah. So that's always kind of cool whenever she fills in or whatnot.
How fast can it go?
Ooh.
Well, there's a rule that I heard that you take the diameter of the wheel and you subtract a few numbers off of that, and that's roughly the miles per hour. So 32 inches is the width of the wheel. In theory, could go 28, 29 if
Whoa.
you're pushing it. We will not go that fast.
Yeah.
I work on the track, and as we're going that fast on the track, it's damaging the track, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We've never taken it that fast. I think they said during the Scarywood days when it was running, they would do about 14. And so we know that it can handle that.
Yeah. Yeah. What is it doing now?
We try to stick around 8.
Okay.
It kind of changes from time to time. 8's kind of good for the show. It's good for the track.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get fire lit under us to go 10, and we can do that. But
Yeah.
like I said, the faster we go, the more the track goes. There's actually a few times where if you see that the engineers hit that the tightest corner after the silver mine, if they hit it at 8 miles per hour, you can actually go to the edge of the ties and you can see that there's a gap between the edge of the tie and earth. So I can tell when my engineers have gone a little. We were supposed to hit that at 6
Yeah.
or lower,
Yeah.
and so if they hit it at 8, it actually moves. So
Yeah.
wow.
It's interesting being on the train
Yeah.
and like acting on the train because you can tell when it's just 2 miles an hour difference.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, we are moving.
Yeah.
And we're cutting that line and we're moving to the next
Yeah.
line because we're cruising through this area.
yeah,
Do you ever fall over? Like when you're.
No, not really.
Yeah. You keep your balance.
You get your train legs pretty good.
Train legs. I like that. Train legs, like sea legs. Okay. Any other questions, Jordan, before I intervene with more?
No,
Did you have
because I
something?
mean,
Okay.
well, I guess on the front half of the train versus the back half of the train, because you're on I don't think people realize you're on really a constant, steady incline from where to where. I know the trestle is probably the max peak of that spot.
Yep. Trestle is the highest spot. And when I was a kid, when I rode this thing, I had no idea there was a grade. So I'm assuming a lot of the guests don't know either. And the first time I drove it, he said, "Hey, get a little bit faster for this hill." And I said, "Well, what hill?"
Yeah,
And he
right.
said, "The whole thing is hill."
Oh, okay.
And so it starts at the very beginning of the buffalo pen. is the low spot before then.
Yeah.
We're kind of going downhill before then, and then we have to be getting to the right speed. And then it's a gradual increase from the beginning of the buffalo all the way through the valley, and then to the top of the trestle. And we have to hit that correctly in order to get all the way up to the top. If we hit it far too slow, then we're slipping and we're fighting to go all the way up, dropping a lot of sand for traction. And if we're going too fast, like if we happen to hit it at 10, often it'll slow down. But if you've got fully loaded guests on there and you try to go from 10 down to 8, you might miss that, go all the way to 6, and you're not getting back to 8 if you have a full load. So that's sometimes why we'll be going faster than we anticipated up the hill, because it's like, well, it's either this or it's 4.
Yeah.
So
the things that you would never know that were happening behind the scenes.
Right.
How many people think that it's
Sand?
just like going around in circle? Yeah, you just said sand.
You
And
said
I'm like,
sand, we're like, wait, we have sand
we
on this
drop
thing too?
sand? I had no idea. Where do you keep it?
if you look at the side profile of the train, we've got 3 domes on there. The middle dome is the big one that directs the steam to the drive. And then the other 2 are the sander domes. And those just have brass tubes that come down and drop sand. And you'd be surprised. You can feel it. I don't know if you would know it, what you're looking for, but if you drop just a little bit of sand on there, the whole thing rumbles under your feet, and you can feel it on the train cars. So when I'm riding with my family and we're going up the hill, I can feel the rumbling of, oh, well, they're dropping sand. So it's a thing that I've kind of been trained to feel. And Chad, Thomas, and I, we all are aware of all the noises and the rumbling. And whenever anything new makes a slightly different noise, all 3 of us are like,
what is that?
What's that? What do we have any noise? What's happening
Why
here?
does it sound like that? Also, you mentioned that you wrote it when you were a kid.
I did, yeah.
Little did you know as a child.
Yeah, I came here when I was 12.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And you wrote so what do you remember what you thought about it back then?
I suppose I shouldn't say this as the train guy, but I remembered I had never rode a roller coaster in my life, and I remember it was just adrenaline.
Yeah.
And then right around 2, when you're digesting your lunch, is when we rode the train, and I was like, ooh, this was a lot more calm than I expected. It was kind of yeah. And I love the train. I like working on the train, but I remember when I was 12, I should have started with the train and then gone to the coaster.
And worked your way up, exactly. Especially,
a good tip.
I mean, a big change in speed there for sure. Now that I know it's going 8 miles an hour. So.
8 miles an hour to 60 miles an hour.
Yeah,
a little different.
It's a little bit of a different change there. So, are there fun facts? Are there anything maybe that people don't know about the train that you'd be able to tell us? Maybe other things other than them dropping sand or.
Well, every time he talks, we're like, wait.
I know.
What'd you say?
Wait, really? Yeah. Give us more. We want more.
As far as like tips for the guests, you mean, or
no, just in general about the train. Fun facts, maybe some historical things, anything else that you might know,
or stories that you might have from just driving it, or winter and.
Every single winter, the track changes its location. We have to go line and level. In the springtime, you'll notice it's a lot more rougher, and then snow heaves. Or ice heaves deal up, and then they come, and so you'll actually see that at the beginning of the season, train cars are moving a lot more than they are now. And then as we find any spots that are unlevel, we got to do that. A lot of people don't know that that's a thing that happens because that's just on ground out there. There's no cement foundation, so wherever the ground's going to move, the track's going to move with it. So that's probably an unknown thing.
How long does it take to prepare the train before season starts, like for that first run?
I mean, we start getting really ready probably beginning of April, end of March. And then it's just a nervous wreck from there until I successfully go around the track once. Because I've taken the whole thing apart and then I'm putting it back together and I'm going, okay, it's like if you were a kid and you were to take apart your remote control and then you find an extra component and a couple screws. Well, I'm always like, okay, do I have everything? Everything's put back in there. And then you start taking and you're listening for any noises. So it takes us probably about month and a half before we're like ready to go, because there's like in the wintertime it's tear everything apart, fix everything, and then somebody inevitably says, oh, hey, it's 8 weeks till opening, and you go, okay,
crunch time.
We gotta make sure that we're moving on this.
Well, I can tell you from the marketing standpoint, that's my favorite.
That signals that the season is coming when we hear that train whistle for the first time.
And it's always the weather's starting to change, and I miss having that to look out my window, in the off season, because that's my favorite part is just seeing the train go by from my window. So
what about you have the Plymouth? Explain what the Plymouth is to everybody who doesn't know what that word means in terms of the train. Even
I have no idea,
Sarah.
Yeah.
And how you use that to help your process.
Okay, so the Plymouth, or we call it the Tug too, is a little diesel motor driven equipment that it can actually
that
latch
thing.
up to the front of the train. Yeah, the
Yeah.
green one with
Yeah.
the yellow plow.
Okay.
It's got a plow on it, and we plow the winter every once in a while, just that crossing right there. We found that if we're trying to get our train cars from where they're parked under tarps in the wintertime to the side of our train barn shop, then we have to have a clear road. So we have to make sure that gets cleared.
Okay.
And that thing has zero traction in the ice.
Oh,
and
okay.
so, yeah, I in fact, a quick story about that. I'm backing up, and I've got Chad and Thomas are there. They digged up all the stuff, and I've got to go over maybe about 8 inches of snow. And I'm going as fast as I can. And if I can just make it to the crossing, we're going to make it. Well, I chickened out, and I was like, I'm derailing. I can feel that I'm derailing. I wasn't. It was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I chickened out and lost all momentum. And then Chad and Thomas were like, would you stop? So we all three got on there and dug underneath it with the snow. During the season, if all goes well, we're barely using it.
Yeah.
We have to, when we get in, we put a propane heater in the engine, and then it'll actually heat it up to where we can drive out on its own.
Yeah.
If that heater happens to go out, or one of us doesn't catch that it goes out, we need to be able to light the train with about 50 psi at the lowest.
Mm-hmm.
If we only have 75, we're going to use about 25 of that getting it out. So we will go, we'll go grab the engine with the tug, pull it out. That way we didn't waste any steam. We could still light our fire. We use that to move all the train cars around during the winter time. If the engine were to break down, we could tow it with that. The engine never broken down, but if it did, we could get it with that.
Yeah.
And
Wait, the engine is never broken down.
well, I mean, as far as broken down, it's been an issue where, like, we had one oil valve that came loose on the NPT thread, and they couldn't get the oil valve open.
It's not
And
broken down though. Yeah.
no, it didn't break.
Yeah.
It didn't break down, but they were like, "There's one more run left. Go put it
Yeah.
away." And so I
Yeah.
consider that the closest thing we've had to a break.
It's pretty
break
good.
down, but
That's pretty
Well,
good.
and we just so everybody knows, we do like during the preseason,
Mm-hmm.
we go through like what would a train evacuation look like,
Mm-hmm.
and make sure that we do have that safety covered, because there are different spots where if it were to break down, it would be a
Completely different.
decently walk back
Yeah.
to the depot,
Yeah.
and so making sure that that is safe, and that even though we haven't had it, I think there was maybe a Scarywood night where we had to have people walk back
Okay.
years ago. I don't remember when that was, but before you.
Yeah, before me.
Before you. But we don't run it during Scarywood either. And so I think a lot of that wear and tear, like you talk about, by going faster speeds and all that, probably contributed to potentially needing to walk people back from, I think it was the Buffalo Pen.
okay, yeah. I wonder what happened there. I'll have to get some more details on
What
that.
about when the elephant blocked the tracks?
That was a long time ago.
I wonder if they had to walk back.
Who told us that?
I don't remember.
An elephant?
Yeah.
Like
An
actual
Because we had an
Elephant.
elephant at the park.
Mhm.
when there was a zoo here.
Yes, back in late 80s.
Yeah.
Was it Michelle?
It might have been Michelle.
Michelle.
Or Justin. Yeah.
Yeah. So they said that the elephant stood in front of the tracks.
And just didn't want to move. He was just like, this is where
Just-
I'm hanging
yeah.
out for now. And how do you move
And
an
there was
elephant?
a face-off between
so,
the
yeah.
train and the elephant.
So I wonder how long they were there.
I don't
if
know
they
how
had to-
long they were there,
I
but-
mean, I doubt they had to walk because you're not going to walk with an elephant free.
Yeah.
No,
please,
well-
please stay on the train.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's an elephant. Well, the elephant wasn't like they used it and
Well,
it
yeah. But
gave
still.
rides and all that kind of stuff.
Well, he broke out of jail. He was on a mission for
It was not moving.
for some kind of rebellion. But yeah,
What's your like favorite part of working on the train?
I mean, the easy answer is driving the train. It's still my favorite part. You know, working on the whole train is cool. It's surreal and everything. But it's usually around the time right after we pass the trestle, I'll be driving this and I go, I'm driving a steam engine for money. This is cool. Like this is surreal. You know, that's probably the it is my favorite thing and probably the most cliche. But one thing I really like about this too is like I said, I've got to do one job in the winter time where I tear it all apart. I do one job in the summertime where we drive it around. And then I do one job in the fall where we're doing exclusively track work. So I like that this job is constantly like kind of changing its shades. And it never gets stale because you're always doing something new.
yeah,
So-
yeah. Does your family think you're super cool?
Yeah. I've got little kids. I've
Yeah.
got an 11-year-old to a 7-month-old. I got 4
Yeah.
kids, so they love coming
I
here.
bet.
Yeah.
Like how
My
cool
dad-
to be able to say my dad
Yeah.
drives the train.
My dad works on the train.
Yeah.
And in
That's
fact,
so cool.
my daughter remembered my phone number first. So if we lost her, she would just say my phone number.
Yeah.
But we told my son, who didn't remember my phone number yet, your dad works on the train. He fixes the train. They'll find me. And so he's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's
Remember
so
your
great.
radio number?
Yeah.
Go call it.
Go call this number. Let's see. Have you ever witnessed a magical or memorable moment on the train over the years?
I'd say honestly, the wildlife. Whenever you see,
that's what I was gonna
wildlife
ask
out there,
about, too.
That's amazing. Like there was an eagle nest that originally was pretty close to the track before it was a dead tree. It fell down, but those eagles would catch fish over there in Gary's Pond.
Yeah.
And so you'd see them swoop down, catch a trout or whatever he's got stocked there, and they would just fly away. And you're like, I'm driving a train and I just saw an eagle catch a fish. Like,
Pretty cool.
that's cool. We've seen coyotes out there, moose, elk, deer.
Nice.
An owl. There's 2 owls that live over there on the backside of this.
Really?
Yep. And then
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch is out there.
I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, got some wild bison out there.
We actually had the neighbor's bison escape onto the property one time a few years back, and that
my
was
gosh.
we're just doing our track when we drive by, and there's like, oh no, one of our buffaloes out.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
the neighbor's buffalo.
No.
Oh no!
So my job that day was to just keep tabs on that buffalo. So I'm like in the forest trying to not get too close to him. I'm
Yeah.
like, where is he? And so
Oh my gosh.
that
Those are
was
the things you only see in North Idaho, right?
Right.
I mean, honestly. And let's talk about the buffalo because I know that you kind of love the buffalo because I'll never forget talking to you that day and your eyes lit up when you were like, oh my gosh, there's number 100 keeps running
Oh,
alongside
yeah.
the terrain.
Yeah.
And we named her Century and all of this.
Yep.
How many babies do we have now?
there's 3 babies.
3
now.
babies.
Mhm.
Okay, very nice. And do we still have a runner who likes to run alongside the train?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the one that gets closest. It seems
Yeah.
to always be that same one. She's got a 100 tag on her ear that's all worn
Yeah.
out. But she'll come to investigate us if we're working near the track. And when I do my morning inspection, I'll be on the 4-wheeler and I'll be looking at the track, and you'll see her come running up every once in a while.
Aw.
And she's excited to see you. And she'll stay the closest. Sometimes the rest of the herd will run away, and she'll stay closer.
Yeah.
And in fact, Kat, who takes care of the buffalo, when I said, "Hey, I saw a buffalo, it was running," she goes, "I bet it was 100." And I was like, "It was 100, yeah." And so
She's
she
a
already
runner.
has a name for herself.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's cool.
And I call
That's
her
cool.
Century. It sounds prettier than 100.
Yeah.
Century.
Yeah.
So.
Century. I like it. Everybody look out for Century when next
Look
time you
out
ride the
for
train.
Century. Yes, I haven't seen her run yet, so I'm excited that at some point, hopefully, that will happen.
Yeah.
Jordan's ready with your inside scoop.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready for this? Inside scoop. This is obviously an ice cream truck, but that's our lead in. But we want to know your super secret insider tip, preferably maybe surrounding the train, for any of our guests, whether it be a new guest, an old guest, something that you would tell them to make their experience even more special.
Yeah. So like what I tell my family or any of the guests that I send this way, and they're going to ride the train ride, first thing I tell them is look at the schedule, because my kids always want to ride the train first thing in the morning, but that one's usually a yesteryear, which doesn't include the whole
Robbery.
show. Yep.
Yeah.
And so I always tell them, just take a second, look at the schedule, make sure that if you want to go on the show, you're on one, because a lot of people won't know, and they'll go, oh, I was on here for this time,
Yeah.
and we didn't get the robbery. And then also too, the show is on the right side of the train. When I tell people, if you want to witness the train, be towards the middle of the train. If you don't want to get wet, don't sit in the third car, but sit on the right side of the train. There's cool stuff on both sides of the train, but you can see the show a little bit better.
From that right
Yep,
side.
probably the train car 4, where you're close to the show, you're not turning around to look at it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
as far as my inside scoop is, there's all our
Great
okay positions
seats.
on,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the better positions are where you can see the show.
Yeah.
And if you want to get wet, train car 3. If you don't want to get wet, train car 4.
One last question, though. Who's your favorite actor in the train robbery?
I'm
You see this face right here?
It's a leading
There's
question.
one
It's a loaded.
correct
Yeah.
answer. Yeah.
There's Jordan. I
Yeah.
don't know if he's stronger than me or not. Jordan, you're my favorite.
Dynamite Dan for the win. Did you keep your guns handy today? Did you lose any guns?
I didn't lose a gun.
Okay. Did you do a backflip?
I did a front flip.
Front flip?
Yeah.
Jordan
I've never
has
done a backflip.
flips.
That'd be crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a
I really
front
don't know
flip.
the difference. But yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap things up. Thank you so much, Quincy, for hanging
thank
out with
you.
us
Absolutely, yeah.
today. And we'll definitely get some clips of all of that for our listeners. If you want to be the next loyal listener, make sure to sign up at silverwoodthemepark.com/podcast. We could be calling you next. And that's a wrap on this week's ride.
That wasn't even that scary.
Thanks for tuning in to the Silverwood Show. If you had a blast, make sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share the fun with your fellow thrill seekers. Got a question, story, or suggestion? Send it our way to podcast@silverwoodthemepark.com for a chance to be featured in our Mail Train segment. Until next time, keep your hands and feet inside the podcast and stay thrilling.
Let's go again! Silverwood,